One of the families in the path of Delta are the Griffiths. Their home in Grand Chenier was demolished by Hurricane Laura, along with 1,600 acres of fencing, cattle pens, and memories. As TWILA's Neil Melancon shows us, there's hope among this rubble.
It's a quiet, sunny day here at the Lazy Acres Ranch in Welsh. Owner Leslie Griffith is talking with folks at the NRCS in Lake Charles about programs to keep the grass healthy here, as well as getting back on their feet after Hurricane Laura. Mack, the district conservationist, says there's programs aimed at helping them do just that.
NRCS, once that boundary fence is up, we're able to help in interior and cross share with our EQIP program, dealing with interior cross fencing, livestock water, water wells, troughs, watering facilities, things that are heavy use pads underneath, to assist with those and try to get some back sense of normalcy, if you will.
Even an hour north of the coast here, there's signs of stress. One of Griffith's cows died from the stress and mosquitoes post-Laura. Still, he did manage to get most of his 190 head of cattle out of the way of the storm.
We'd bought this land here for right after Rita and hauled the cows back after Rita had went through and tore everything up. I put a water well in. Well, I come 3 years later, but the water well stayed, and I had to redo my fences. Laura's come down in my 600-acre winter pasture where these cows would normally be going to this time of the year. I went there the other day. I had a brand new set of cow pens I built in February. They're completely gone. And also the water well that I put in is gone. So now, right now, we don't have any fresh water down home. Everything is old, nasty, salty, muddy water.
The story at his main ranch in Grand Chenier is much different. The main house was completely demolished in the storm and its remains strewn about the 1,600 acres here. It's damage that will likely be around a long time, as history bears witness. Here you can see a divot in a tree that was there during Hurricane Audrey in 1957, when an 11-year-old Leslie rode out the storm with his family on their makeshift raft made from the roof of their house. In 2005, Rita demolished this area, and Griffith said they were just starting to recover from that storm.
This storm here was worse than Audrey, Ike, and Rita put together, because I didn't lose so many oak trees as I did this time. I've lost a bunch of these big old oaks that they'll never be replaced in my lifetime.
Mark Norman is a soil conservationist with the NRCS. He says the recovery in this area for the soil alone will take many months, if not years.
Be as responsible as you can be with the grazing, and if you have an extra pasture or if you can get hay, then you're going to need it this year.
Leslie and Mark share more than just an interest in soil health. Both are veterans of the United States Army, Leslie of the Vietnam War, Mark of the conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq. Leslie shared the pain of losing his dog tags during Laura, something Mark understood well. Mark says everyone in southwest Louisiana is getting a taste of what war is like, the damage reminiscent of his time in the service.
This looks like Afghanistan. The people with all the wires down and, houses with the roofs ripped off, and then you have people walking around. I just felt like, a bomb went off. It looked like a bomb had gone off, and just total devastation.
Still, there are signs of hope here. The once barren oaks of Oak Grove are starting to put out leaves, and among the rubble, another sign. As we were watching, Mark found something Leslie had thought lost.
Look, I killed these in Vietnam. My uncle gave me this. Y'all can read it yourself. It said, it's the alcoholic's deal one day at a time, you know what I mean? And it says, God grant me serenity to protect things I can't,
While his voice was full of emotion at the discovery of those dog tags, it belies a strength in Leslie, a strength that has kept the Griffiths working this land for 200 years, and if he has anything to say about it, for 200 more and beyond.
And my address will be 1003 Oak Grove Highway, Grand Chenier, Louisiana, till I die, so I know that, so,
Leslie and Peggy are taking precautions ahead of Hurricane Delta, but their cattle are safe, as you saw, on their Welsh ranch, and hopefully will survive the storm intact. I want to thank Peggy Griffith in particular for helping us with this story's details and providing the drone video you saw in the story. Although Leslie was the one who flew it, she's the one who got it to us. And Avery, as you saw, I was there for that emotional moment where Mark Norman from the NRCS found those dog tags that belonged to Leslie and that medallion that was part of it, and that was just one of those special moments that hopefully put all of this disaster into context. That there's not just that hope among the rubble, but there's this connection between people that brings them together during times like this.
Yeah, and I know your pictures absolutely blew up on social media whenever you shared that and the story, but for you personally, witnessing that, what was that like?
You know, my uncle was a Vietnam veteran. And so I know how those memorabilia are special to these guys. And it's not the awards or the medals themselves or the glory, it's the connection back to that time and place that was so unique. And as you heard Mark say, when he saw Lake Charles, he saw his time in Afghanistan. And so those dog tags and that bring that together. And so for me personally, you know, I recognize that, and of course I was on the job and filming, but you know, but it did touch me emotionally. One of the things that, you know, it does also make you want to reach out and help these people as much as you can. And there's a way that we can. Leslie said he doesn't really need money, he doesn't really need goods shipped to him. What he needs, he pointed to his bicep, is manpower, elbow grease. When 1,600 acres of fencing is a lot. And of course, he is probably the biggest cattle owner, landowner out there. So what he needs is a lot of people putting fences down and putting those, you know, digging holes, putting fence posts in, putting fences up, as well as all the other various and sundry activities that go along in a cattle farm. Mark Norman with NRCS, not only did he find his dog tags, but he's organizing some help. He's already got about 20 people ready to help him, and it's going to be spread throughout, I think, the next 6 months, if not longer. If you want to help, if you want to reach out there and contact him, go out there and work with him, you can either call the NRCS office in Lake Charles, or we'll help you link that on our website at twilatv.org.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Neil. Great story.